Welcome, welcome, welcome to Women in Business International Radio. I am your host, Taylor Kayan, on the mic, and I am so excited to have each and every one of you tune in this evening for this special show. So I know a lot of you are saying, well, who is Women in Business International? So Women in Business International is a sisterhood of women entrepreneurs, understanding that individually you can do great things, but collectively you can forever change the world. Members of our movement experience a support system that allows them to celebrate their wins and share their struggles in a series of opportunities to enhance them personally and professionally. So, if that sounds like something that you are interested in, then check out our website at www.wbiradio.org. And tonight I'm wearing a fabulous piece from one of
Ooh.
our paparazzi representatives, Nakia. And I'm sure my awesome producer, Mirla, who's tuned in as well, will post her website. So if anyone wants a piece of jewelry from her paparazzi, then we would love for you to shop. Isn't it beautiful? And I had the matching.
That is really nice.
And that's from our Nakia Harvey, who does paparazzi. So welcome, Cynthia.
Yes,
How are
thank
you today?
you.
How
I'm
are you
great.
doing? Good. We're
I'm
so
doing
glad to
so
have you
great.
come back on today.
Yes, I was so excited when you told me, well, asked me if I can do April 28th. I said, yes, please.
So we're going to get into giving the audience a little bit about you, but first I want to read our quote of the day,
Hmm.
and then let's see. So our quote of the day is: "Life is chemistry. Dilute your sorrows, evaporate your worries, filter your mistakes, bull your ego, and you will get the crystal of happiness." I'm gonna say that one more time because that was kind of a big pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Life is chemistry. Dilute your sorrows, evaporate your worries, filter your mistakes, bull your ego. You will get the crystal of happiness. Wonder why I picked that quote today.
I wonder why. Chemistry.
so, so Cynthia, just hearing a lot about the news recently, it sounds like a lot of states are thinking about reopening. What do you think about that?
As of right now, I think that the businesses can do, what they want based off of, their executive order. But as of people, I do believe everyone should be staying home. There was a nail salon that I saw online down in Georgia where they opened up their business, but there was a long line of people waiting to get into the nail salon. And then I think they had like some kind of clear curtain between the nail tech and the client. And I say, if you have to go through all of this just to open up, you might as well stay home.
Look,
And you can't, you're getting
you
your
see
nails
nails,
done, right. So you're getting your
nails,
nails done to go
eyebrows,
nowhere. Yeah.
hair. Look, hair. Look, I
Yes.
get it. I get it. I want mine done too, but at the end of the day, I think is looking at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is making sure that we are safe and that the mass public is safe. And the best way to do that is for us to do exactly the message that we've been
Hmm.
receiving is to stay home. You know,
Exactly.
plenty of people want to get their hair cuts. Plenty of people want to get out of the house. I'm sure you're tired,
Hmm.
and we thank God for a roof over our head to have a home to be in. But at
Absolutely.
the end of the day, we have to think out of the box. And I would just employ each of you to make sure that you hold your elected officials to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, we know that people are speaking with them, sharing with them that, sharing with them that they want to open because they're losing money. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem. I believe, and this is my belief. This is not the belief of AJ or AGR. It's not the belief of anybody else but Nicole Mosby Taylor. But my
Right.
belief is that God wants us to stay still. He's saying, "Be
Mm-hmm.
still,
Be still.
be
Yep.
still, and know that I'm God." So let me take care of everything. But I need you
Right.
to be still, and I need you to be still because you guys have become too materialistic. You know,
Yes.
it's all about money. It's not about family. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about your relationship with God. And I believe that now is our time to, build that relationship with God, build
Mm-hmm.
that relationship with our families. A lot of families are torn apart. A lot of families are having, having discord with one another. And this is the time to amend that and take this time to really enjoy family and enjoy
Right.
life. Enjoy
Right.
life. Life is so much more than you going to a concert, you going to a
Mm-hmm.
picnic, you going out of your home.
Yep.
You home for a reason, and a lot of us don't get a chance to see our home that we pay so much
Exactly.
for. So it's time for you to try to, find what really, what life is all about. And it's not about those material things. It's not about money. It's about being able to play games with your family, watch TV
Mm-hmm.
with your family, start to bond with your family,
Right. Right.
and even more importantly, take that time out to read your Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Do your studying on your own. It's good to go to Bible study too, but it's good for you to do your own Bible studying as well. So to develop that relationship with you and the Lord. So,
Right. Right. I 100% agree with you, Miss Nicole.
oh, thank you, sweetie. So I just want to shout out. I'm looking at some of our viewers, and I see Lariat. Hey, Lariat. Nico is watching. Menina says, "Hey, Black Queens." Hey, Menina. Of course, Destiny is watching, and a host of others. So thank you all for tuning in today to Women in Business International Radio Show. We have none other than the phenomenal Miss Cynthia Johnson. And I have known Cynthia since she's been in a stroller.
Literally.
Yes, I met you when you were in a stroller. So it's just so amazing. I mean, it just warms my heart so much to be able to see the young lady that you have evolved into.
Thank you.
And I'm just so thankful that God gave me the opportunity to see that journey. So we
Yes.
want to kind of describe that journey to some of our listeners so that they're able to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to send a message to my amazing producers. There's like a clicking noise um going on. Can you hear it?
Yeah, it
Can you
sounds
hear
like somebody is clicking a cell phone in one of y'all backgrounds.
somebody is doing something to a cell phone in our background?
Yeah, it sounds like a cell phone or somebody's making clicking noises, maybe on a cell phone or somewhere in one of your rooms. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It just
Thank you.
got okay.
I think I still hear. Is it gone? Okay. So it sounds like it turned down a little bit. But we just wanted to make sure that we give the best sound possible for our amazing listeners. So thank you guys for being with us. As you know, going virtual is new to us. We just started in March going virtual because of COVID. We are adhering to the stay-at-home order, and our awesome God family said, "Look, we're going to find a way to make sure that your show can still go on."
Yes.
so they came up with this platform, and we're so thankful to them for doing so.
Mm-hmm.
All
Absolutely.
right. So Cynthia, so you are a phenomenal owner at the young age of 27, right? You're
27. Yep.
8 in October.
Right.
Come on, tell
Yep,
them your
don't rush me,
government.
Mr.
So,
Cole.
and you are the amazing owner of Cindy J Cosmetics.
Yes.
All right. So, when did you know that you wanted to become a chemist?
Well, I knew I wanted to become a chemist when I was in the 10th grade in high school at Baltimore Polytechnic Institute.
All right.
And and actually my teacher, Mr. Gibson, my chemistry teacher, told me that I had an eye for chemistry. And mind you, I didn't know anything about chemistry really, as far as jobs and careers. I thought it was more pharmaceutical or petroleum. And I was so focused on being a basketball player, maybe playing for the WNBA and going overseas, marrying me an NBA player, all these different things, right? So when I expressed that to him, he said, "What are you most passionate about? What do you like to do besides hanging with your friends and family and playing basketball?" And I told him that I love taking care of my skin and I love taking care of my hair. So he said, "Why not become a cosmetic chemist?" So from that day, I didn't even think about what I could be doing for basketball. I started thinking about what I could be doing as a cosmetic chemist. So from 10th grade on up, I already knew I had to be a cosmetic chemist.
Oh wow, that's
Mhm.
amazing.
Thank
So,
you.
did you recognize any signs like maybe when you were younger? Because I know you started out at St. Mary's and then you went
Mhm.
to Cardinal Shan. Did you Cardinal?
Yes. Cardinal
Okay,
Chin. Yes.
yes. Of course you went to Cardinal Shan. How could I
Yeah.
forget that? So then you went to Cardinal Shan, and then you went to Baltimore Polytechnical Institute.
Yeah.
So, how about even early on? Did you notice any signs of you like mixing some things together and like getting excited, or?
So actually, I really first encountered with business through a very personal friend of mine and her mom creating this big organization for young ladies. So I said, okay, I like to work and network with young ladies. I already knew from then that that was my foundation,
Wow.
and that really is an honor just to start small and gain that relationship with other young women who are going to potentially be successful. So, just from a young age on up, I started doing speaking engagements and I started doing different tutorials as far as cosmetic science to younger people. So, I already knew that it was instilled in me because of the foundation.
Right.
Yeah.
So, another way that we were able to bond. So I knew you as a little girl, but of course, you just mentioned that you joined our mentoring group,
Mm-hmm.
the Powerful Voices of Young
Voices of
Ladies.
young ladies. Yes.
And you were our very, very first vice president of ever.
Yes.
So, what did you take away from what is another lesson that you would have learned from Emmy, as we call it, Empowering Minds of Maryland's Youth?
I learned not to be afraid and take risks because when I created that speech for to become a vice president, I was very nervous. I'm like, okay, I don't know if they're going to vote for me. I don't know if I'm going to deliver. But because you put that platform together for young ladies, I was able to now develop a way to not be fearful, not be nervous, just take that risk. So I experienced that after the Powerful Voices of Young Ladies, through basketball, through college, through my whole career of a cosmetic chemist, and started my own business. I had to take that risk. So, because of that foundation, that helped me today.
Right. Well,
Mhm.
I'm sure your parents are so proud of you
They
because
are.
they have been like when I say every step of the way, you have some parents that are supportive, but then you have those parents that are like really supportive.
Yes.
And your parents and your whole family actually are like the really supportive. So what do you tell that young person out there nowadays that wouldn't have that type of family that is supportive? What would you tell them?
I would definitely tell that young person who may not have that support or encouragement that it's okay not to have that support and encouragement, because God only gave you your vision. They didn't give your vision to your family or your friends or your mentor. He gave that vision to you. And that's really the only thing you need to make it. Yes, support is great. Encouragement is great. But it's, once you get that vision together, everything else falls into place. The encouragement is going to fall into place. The support is going to fall into place. Sorry, that's my godson. He wants to be a part of the video.
Oh, he just wants to be near his godmother.
Yes.
So sweet.
Yeah, so that's definitely what I would tell that person.
And you better preach. So you started at Poly, and this teacher tells you, this is what I see you doing with that, which is amazing. Shout out that teacher one more time, because
yes.
I think that we, forget about the teachers oftentimes. And people, and adding to people's success. So I think it does have a lot to do with, of course, your home life, your parents,
right.
your relationship with God, of course. But then I think it is those teachers and those mentors and those others that help to pour into creating this being of whatever you want to be. So
right.
Shout out your teacher again.
Yes, definitely want to shout out Mr. Gibson at Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. He's actually still teaching chemistry there.
Wow.
The last time I saw him was at a basketball game that Poly had before the whole shutdown. And I thanked him. I had to give him a hug and thank him, because he's the one that instilled in me that I should become a cosmetic chemist. I should take up chemistry because of my niche. So definitely shout out Mr. Gibson.
And let me just shout you out, Cynthia, because I know that when you were going to middle school, not sure about elementary, but I definitely know when you were going to middle school, you had a class all by yourself because your father really worked with you with math. And because he worked with you with math, you were like the math whiz. And they had to create, like, you were so bored doing the regular work, they had to create something just for you. How amazing is that?
Thank you. Yes. I think it was 6th grade.
Right.
From 6th grade, that's when they found out that I was really good at math. And then 7th grade, they created that class and carried on to 8th grade. And a couple of times I would help like my whole class with different math problems and everything. So I wasn't selfish about it. I still wanted to teach. And I think just from there, for me teaching people, different math problems, I knew I was going to be teaching people my niche or my craft. So that carried on to today. Some people don't know about cosmetic science or the importance of ingredients. Then I can teach them, those ingredients and the types, the functions and things like that.
Right. So when you look at science, did you ever kind of say, well, maybe I'll go into cosmetics, or maybe I'll do something different?
Not really, because the process was there. I did have a minor setback when I went to A&T for graduate school for chemical engineering. I looked at chemical engineering as a money-making degree. I didn't look at it as a passionate degree. And after the first year, I left. So that was really the only time that I steered away from cosmetic science, because I was so money hungry. Just like, okay, if I become a chemical engineer, I already know off the bat I would make maybe $80,000 or more. And I wasn't happy with that. I wasn't happy with chemical engineering. So I took a step back and I said, no, we got to get back to that cosmetic science route.
You bring up a very important point, because one of my famous quotes, well, I said it's famous, but one of my quotes is that being fulfilled is to find your passion, which will lead you to your purpose, and then you walk it out in your pumps. And basically, what that quote is saying is that you have to find out what you're passionate about. The money is going to come, but if
Right.
you go after the money, it's not going to work that way. But
Right.
if you go after what you're passionate about, you don't need a paycheck to do it because you love to do it.
Love to do it. Yep.
And when you love to do something, it shows through your work, it shows through your life. You want to
Mhm.
get up, you feel good, you ready to go. You know, it's
Yes.
not like, oh man, I gotta get out of bed again and
Right.
do 9 to 5, but you feel good about what you're doing. And I remember, I've always juggled a lot of balls, but I've been
Mhm.
able to juggle them, of course, through the grace of God, but secondly, because I love doing it. I
Right.
enjoy, having this radio show, coming up with different topics, coming up with who could be my guest to come on.
Mhm.
I enjoy the conversation, the feedback, and because I'm passionate about it, then God gives me the ability to continue to do what I need to do to make it
Exactly.
interesting to others. So I
Right.
think that's a very important point that you bring up.
Mhm.
So, but you were passionate about basketball. So some people may say, well, you were just as passionate about basketball. You played
Mhm.
volleyball.
Mhm.
Just
Yes.
all around an amazing young lady.
Thank
So,
you.
how did you decide which way you were going to go with your passion?
I think the day that I didn't get chosen to play overseas is when I found out that I wasn't passionate about basketball anymore. And
Mm.
really, honestly, this is the first time that I've admitted that. So you're special, Miss Nicole. But I think that day when they didn't call me back, I said I don't think I want to play basketball anymore. Now, a passionate basketball player would keep working out, would keep putting shots up in the gym, would keep, they would find
Not a
a
no for answer.
right, would find an agent, but I didn't do that. And I think that was the day that I found out that this wasn't my destiny. This wasn't my purpose.
Mm.
So even though the accolades came, and just like being a chemical engineer, the money came, or the money comes if you do fulfill yourself as a chemical engineer, but the passion wasn't there. So I already knew that I had to let go of basketball. I haven't worked out since I left college,
Oh
so
my goodness.
I need to start working
Well,
out.
you don't look like you missed a beat. You don't look
Oh
like
my
you
gosh,
missed
Miss
a
Nicole, my endurance is way down, so I need to get back in it.
beat. So, what would you say? So, recently it was decision day yesterday
Mhm.
for the high school students, and you know, prayerfully, their parents made a big deal out of it.
Right.
Due to the state that the world is in now. But
Mhm.
how did you decide what college was right for you?
I decided based off of my mentor, my coach, Coach Peace at Poly. We looked at different schools for
That's
basketball.
Coach Peach. Coach
Yeah, yeah, that she was my basketball and volleyball coach. So she knew that I wanted to play both sports in college, and I wanted to be a chemistry major. So it was very hard. It was actually very unheard of that a chemist would be a basketball player and a volleyball player. So a lot of schools didn't offer that. Either they didn't have a good chemistry program, or they wouldn't allow me to play both sports. So when she suggested her alma mater, Lincoln University, she said, "Well, let's just try and get you in there and see if you can do all three." And sure enough, they gave me a scholarship for academics, for basketball, and volleyball.
Awesome, awesome.
Hmm.
And that was, what was that university again? Shout out to
That
you.
was the Lincoln University, first HBCU
All right.
1854.
Yes. And shout out to basketball coach, because again, that's what I'm talking about. Those mentors, those people that's helping you to make those decisions that are best for your life is so important. Like I just saw Rhonda Clyburn, one of our WBI members, but also an assistant principal. And I see how she takes their time out with her with her students to kind of help to guide them along the way. So it's so important for us to, pay homage to those people, because the world will have you hear all of this negativity about these
Right.
people, and God forbid if someone touched you or did something to you, we would hear their name. But this is the
Exactly.
time to give them their public accolades while they're here, so they can hear it and enjoy it. So
Exactly.
your coach name is Miss Kendall.
Kendall Peace Able. She kept her her
Kendall.
last name Peace, so Kendall
Okay.
Peace Able.
I couldn't remember the new last name. So
Yeah.
okay, so that's amazing. That's amazing. So from Lincoln, you said you went to A&T, but you didn't get your chemistry, you didn't get your chemical, I'm sorry, your cosmetic chemistry and degree from there. Where did you get it from?
I went to University of Cincinnati. Well, I acquired my master's degree online, mainly because I was offered a job here in Maryland right after A&T, and I was accepted to University of Cincinnati the next year. So I didn't want to leave Maryland because I wanted the experience as a cosmetic science. So they offered the degree online, which was great. I had a great time with that. I was able to develop more time management skills. I was able to develop communication skills very well. So yeah, that was great. That was a great 2 years.
I know, like I'm sitting here watching you speak, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So do you remember our very first tea, and I made you speak?
Oh yeah. Yes, I remember that.
So Miss Taylor has a way of encouraging our young ladies to do what I know that they have in them to do.
Absolutely.
And they oblige me every time, and I'm so thankful. But I pushed you and the vice president. I said, you guys are the vice president and the president. You have to speak at the tea.
Right.
And you came with your little index cards, and you were
Right. Index cards. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, do you remember? Tell us. Do you remember what is your fondest memories of being a part of the mentoring group?
Yeah. So I will always keep this memory with the ladies and our mentors, but learning Psalm 23 was just we were all struggling to memorize Psalm 23. And then one day we just all got it. We had to recite it to you, Miss Nicole. And I think we did it at the tea party. I'm not too sure if we did that, but I remember getting Psalm 23 down.
Okay. So, now, did we have our pledge back then?
I think we
You remember the pledge?
Yeah. Yes. I remember. Did we do a fashion show or no? I think that was some years later where you did.
Years later, but you came back and spoke at our fashion show.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yes. I'm a strong young lady with a powerful voice. You see. Always striving to do my best and obtain the victory.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay, something like it.
Did anyone record that? Like, did anyone record?
We do. It's on our website. Some young ladies saying it on our website. We have some young ladies saying it on our Instagram page.
Okay.
It's so important because it was so much more than a pledge. But if you just listen to the words. The person that had put it together, shout out to Jamila, who went to Baltimore Polytechnical Institute. Jamila, I gave her specific lines and specific words, and she took it and just created that pledge, and it was just like amazing because it has so much meaning. And typically, when people hear the group of girls reciting that pledge, they kind of stop with what they're doing and really pay attention,
right?
Because to hear it is to understand what the whole group was all about. So,
right.
Yeah, but I think some of my fondest memories of the group would be the tea, because the tea was like our very first like big event. and you girls got an opportunity to perform, to dress up, to learn how to how to distinguish which utensil you use first, from
Yes.
our motivational speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just remember everything from beginning to end. I even remember the steppers, and they had on heels stepping, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just like blown away from them
Yes.
stepping, and it was just phenomenal. And that's what all little girls should be able to dream about.
Right.
Those are things that they should be thinking about, not some of the things that they're thinking about now.
Right.
Um, because just thinking of how people are molded and shaped,
Mm-hmm.
that was a part of something that hopefully was in that was a part of you guys' memory for always, was to
Right.
have such a powerful sisterhood of young ladies that just come together to talk about positive things and do
Right.
positive things together. So um let's see. So we talked about college, and we talked about so tell us a little bit more about, because we want to save Cindy J for the very, closer to the end. So we got a few minutes before we get to Cindy J. But
All right.
so tell us, like, after college, what did you do, and how did what did you do after college?
So after Lincoln, yes, went straight to university in North Carolina, A&T,
Mm-hmm.
and came back to Baltimore. And then I decided to actually work for a contract manufacturer, a cosmetic contract manufacturer in Odenton, Maryland. And that was my foundation of cosmetic science, of just strictly cosmetic science. The director of R&D, or the director of research and development, helped me and molded me to become versatile within products, within formulating products. So from hair care to skin care, color cosmetics, baby care, bath and body care, men's care. The
Wow.
only thing that I can't really formulate, but I do want to learn about, is nail care, because I definitely would be learning nail care right now. I'm
Yeah,
using my nails,
we
so
need some help.
yeah. But that was really the foundation, that, and they required only, actually, no experience as a chemist, so that was really good for them to do, because a lot of companies require 2-4 years of experience with a master's degree, and at that time I didn't have a master's degree, I just had a chemistry degree with no experience. So after that, I moved on to another contract manufacturer that was a little bit bigger, 200 employees. The contract manufacturer that I started out with only had 11
Mm,
employees. So that was a huge difference. And that's what I needed. I needed the different industries, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I'm going to start my own laboratory one day. So I need to learn what these manufacturers are doing. I want to open up my own manufacturing plant now. And so I need to learn what the manufacturing plants are doing, what to do, what not to do. So I stayed with that company up until from 2016 until January of this year. I left that company. I was there for 3 years. And now I'm a process engineer at a company, but I also have my own laboratory. So much.
So, do you think your experience of being able to get that job will alter the way that you look at who you hire once Cindy J starts to hire employees? Because I said once, not if,
Right.
but once.
Okay. Speaking into existence.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, definitely, because a lot of contract manufacturers do not like to train. They want you to come in with experience. And when I open up my own plant, I want to have an actual training program.
Awesome.
So, you don't have to have all this experience. You don't even have to have your master's degree or your bachelor's degree. If you have a high school diploma, you can learn. I feel like the job field is the quickest way to learn your niche.
Mm.
Sometimes school can, sometimes school can't. So, what about the people that didn't go to school? Can they also be trained in the job field? So, I definitely want to make sure my company has that. And that's one thing a lot of manufacturers do not have at all. Some of them don't invest in their employees, and we want to make sure we invest in our employees because we know how we want to operate. So why not train the employees
right.
based off of that? So
And honestly, you could probably bring your employees in making a little bit less money to save you some money, because you're offering that training and
that
return.
training.
Mhm.
Right,
I-
right.
You know, other than if you were to bring in somebody who has an engineer degree, they're going to be looking to make a different salary than somebody
Right.
who's from high school who wants that training and
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's very good. So we do have some comments. I'm going to try to see some of them. So unfortunately, I've been seeing some comments come up. Destiny said awesome. I've been seeing some
Hey,
comments
guys.
fly on the screen, but then they leave while you're talking, and so I don't. And for some reason I can't pull them up on here. So I know that Janine Faulkner, Stephanie Smith. Um, my aunt Karen is listening, and she waved hi. So I do know I saw a couple people that I just wanted to acknowledge because I did see there, and Sharia Young, one of our top fans, I did see that she joined us as well. So they did have some comments like, "I'm so proud of you, awesome job, Black Girl Magic." And that was playing as you were speaking. So you're doing an amazing job, sweetie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
So now let's get into Cindy J Cosmetics. Like, so what does a person say that I have a product in mind? When should I bring that product to you?
So you started breaking up just a little bit. Can you
When
repeat
should
it?
so if say that I'm a consumer looking for someone to create my product, when should I meet with you?
So what we like to do is we, reach out to us if it's something that you're looking for, if it's in the first stage, second stage, or final stage. We do work with all types of business owners. But if you're that business owner who's looking for a product and really don't know where to start, we're going to help you from start to finish. So we're a custom laboratory. And when we say custom laboratory, that means we want your product to be unique. We want it to stand out. We want your market story to stand out. So we're going to figure out first why you want to get into business. We want to figure out what makes you get up in the morning, what motivates you, to look into the market story or look into your brand. Why do you want to start business? I'm a firm believer that your why should make you cry. Your
Come on,
why should make you cry.
say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Yeah. Your why should make you cry. Definitely.
Let me just say this to our producer. I'm not sure if they are tuning in, but I'm hearing some background noise again that we didn't hear before. So I don't know if there's anything they can do to help us with that. Okay, go ahead. So your why should make you cry. Why should my why make me cry?
Uh-oh. It's
Is
breaking up again.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes. I can hear
Okay,
you now.
so why should my why make me cry?
Your why should make you cry because your why needs to be emotional. It needs to be a testimony in order to get to your target audience. It should be able to show your story. It should be able to, like I said, tell a story. Some people always say, well, money is my why. Well, money really isn't going to be that emotion that's going to gravitate towards your consumers or your clients. Maybe, you want to retire your parents. I know I want to retire my parents. My parents are my why. So that's going to drive me to get up every single day, work hard, make sure that, everyone knows my story so that they can be on the same level as I am.
You can retire your first mentor too.
Yeah.
By all means.
Oh, I will. You coming along with me, Miss Nicole. You set the bar. But yeah, so and I'll have like some clients who their why they want to pay off their debt. They want to pay off their student loans or, actually go to college. And I also have some people who, don't really feel beautiful right now. So they want to create a skincare product that's going to help them feel beautiful. But also people that are out in the market, maybe they don't feel beautiful. So that's that emotional trend that you want to get into. You want to make sure that your why is your biggest achievement, your priority. So, and we want to do that during the consultation. We want to get to know your why. We want to get to know your business. We want to understand why you need Cindy J. Why do you need to be a part of this cosmetic science industry?
So so Manina said chills. Destiny repeated, your why should make you cry. And so did Siobhan. Siobhan said something else too, but I didn't catch it. It's moving while you're talking. So, but thank you. So, guys, if you have any questions for Cindy, please put them up now because this would be the perfect timing for her questions. So, so say that I do have this something that I'm thinking about. So I have something that I'm thinking about, and I've met with you. What is that whole process like?
So first, we're going to go through your consultation. Like I said, we're going to be personable with you. And after we go through the consultation, we're going to talk about your product. We're going to talk about the characteristics of your product. What is the color of your product? What is the thickness of your product? What ingredients do you want? What ingredients don't you want? So we're going to go into detail for every single thing or every single attribute about your product. After we determine that, we're going to sign some paperwork. We're going to get into some launch dates, some timing, different types of timing, and then we're going to get started on the process. So what I would do as a chemist would research the ingredients. I would research the process. I would order samples, and then I would develop the product. So after I develop the product, I would send the product or the samples to the consumer or the client. So when the client receives it, they can do their own consumer testing. Let's say it's a shampoo. They, start working the shampoo in their hair. They'll do it every week or maybe twice a week. However, whatever regimen they use for shampoo, they would treat that as their regimen. So once they approve it or if they like it, then we get into the property rights. Now, this is the one big thing that sets us apart from a lot of contract manufacturers and contract laboratories. A lot of contract laboratories like to hold the formula, or they like to sell the formula at a crazy price, or maybe they want royalties and residuals behind that price. So we do not want your formula. We want you to have sole ownership of that formula because it's yours. You created it, basically. We just put it together, but you created this story. So who is this? Why are we the ones to hold your formula or sell you this formula at a crazy price? So we want to make sure that, you have sole ownership to it, you have the property rights to it, and that way you can maybe go to a manufacturer and get it mass produced, or you would do it yourself. Or you can come back to us and say, hey, Cynthia, I only need like 50 jars of body cream. Can you just, hook me up? And we'll definitely do that.
Awesome. So you answered Menina's question, but her question was, do you sell your own makeup?
So right now I do not sell my own makeup, but I am getting into selling my own skincare. We have a big brand coming up in June. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I can't talk too much about it, but we are setting a whole nother division that is going to, I guess, contribute to Cindy J. So we have our contract laboratory division, and then we're going to have our skincare brand division. So the skincare brand will be coming out in June.
Speaking of that, are you still wanting people to fill out a survey?
We closed the survey. We actually received 50 answers or 50 surveyors for the survey, and it was great. It was enough information for what we're trying to do. And we actually had, I want to say, about 60 people. I want to say it's 60, maybe 55, 60 people to try a sample of our product.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So I also noticed that on your Instagram you do a lot of giveaways. You do a lot of giving back to the community, and I love that. I saw
Yes.
that you wanted to bless some of the essential employees recently. Tell us a little bit about
Mhm.
that.
So the formulation giveaways we like to do maybe every quarter. This year was actually the first time we did our formulation giveaways. So the first one was just a give back because I had some issues going on with my previous job and I wasn't around for social media for my business page. So once I got back on the business page, I wanted to give back because I felt like I owed that to my followers. A lot of followers would contact me and say, "Hey, are you still on Instagram? What's going on?" So I said, "No, I can't do that. I have to do a formulation giveaway." Then we did the Black History.
I don't mean to interrupt. Do you have your volume up on your cell phone?
Maybe I know I need to plug this phone up to my battery. Let me move it down some. Is that okay?
I think that does sound better.
Okay,
Say
let me
something.
turn down just a little.
Oh yeah, that was much better. I don't. Now I hear a little bit of feedback. But I think you can turn it. Can she turn it all the way down there?
Yeah, I think some of the feedback is coming through her mic at her house. So if you can just turn it down so you can just barely hear her, that's good. You should be good there. I think that's what it is.
So he said you
But
could just turn it barely
yeah,
down, all the
just a
way,
little bit.
all the way
Just your
down.
volume the way you hear her. You should be
Turn
good
the
from there.
turn the
Thank you.
volume all the way down.
Yeah, so you can hear her, but that it's not playing out too loud. But you guys should be good. We can hear you. Trying to mitigate that popping sound. I'm sorry.
I wonder if it's because my battery. Let me see. Give me
Okay.
1 second.
So to all of our viewers, we just thank you for tuning into Women in Business International. Hopefully this has blessed you to see someone so young be so inspiring to others. Hopefully you grabbed your kids and told them to come have a seat and listen so that they can get some good nuggets to take with them, to encourage them, to just give them what they need to just keep on keeping on, because right now in today's times with COVID-19, we hear a lot of crazy things, even from number 45. We hear, some positive things, but a lot of negative, and a lot of things that sound so sad. So it's good to hear someone so powerful, so inspiring, just be able to give us some really good information and to see how her steps, just how she's made her steps and how she's matriculated throughout the years to become and evolve to this beautiful, inspiring young woman. That's just so amazing to me. And man, I could just talk to her all night, because I just feel her energy. Her energy is so positive and so caring, and so and she's back.
I can hear you. I appreciate you so much, Mr. Cole.
Oh, you're welcome. And that, not one word did I say that I did not mean. So back to Cindy J, because I'm sure a lot of people, their minds are churning. They're like, should I start this product? Should I maybe I shouldn't go to her because I don't think my product is thought out enough. What would you say tonight?
So I would definitely say I would actually give them their product form because most of the time people that say that they don't know where to start or they have an idea and they just really don't know, it's because they don't have a blueprint. They don't have anything in front of them where it says, what are the characteristics here? They don't have an outline. So I've noticed that a lot of people, after we have that initial conversation, they get excited. They're like, okay, now I really know that I want to do this. So And like I said, we want to figure out your why first. We want to make sure that this is what you want to do. And if this is something that you don't want to do or you feel like you're not passionate about, we still give you a product form just for you to, to map out some things. And I have had some people, actually, one of my clients, we actually just signed a transfer agreement. She started off like dry. She started off like, I don't think I really want to do this. I'm too scared. But after that initial conversation, I kind of poured my energy out a little bit. And she said, "Oh my gosh, I'm ready. Like, let's do it."
Awesome.
So I thought that was so unique. So it's okay to feel a little nervousness and you don't know really where to start. You just need someone to show you that it's simple. The process is simple. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So if somebody wants to reach you, because they want to utilize your services, how would they reach you?
So they can definitely reach me on Instagram. My Instagram name, my business page is at Cindy J Labs, Cindy J Labs with an S. And we also have our website, www.cindyjlabs.com.
Awesome. So if there's anything that you can leave our listeners with today, whether it's an encouraging quote or just some words of wisdom, what would it be?
So there would definitely be to listen to all the answers that you're receiving. Listen to your no's and listen to your yeses. Your no's are going to build your character. Your yeses are going to build your business.
You better say that one more time, girl. You better say that one more time.
So don't feel like you need to, dishonor, not so much dishonor, but not listen to the no's and feel like, you can only listen to your yeses. Your no's are going to build your character. Your no's are going to push you to want more no's so you can get more yeses. So your no's are going to build your character. Your yeses are going to build your brand or your business.
And this is coming from a Baltimore City.
City.
Yes. I just want to, send this out to everybody I know so I can, so everybody can see, because we always hear this, this bad plague over the city.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that has remained true throughout this whole interview is that everybody is saying she is so inspiring. She is so inspiring.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone. And Miss Nicole, I appreciate you because I love what you are doing. I love your nonprofit. It's just so amazing that, you can grab a lot of young ladies and let them know that they do matter. So, it started out with a small group and now you have a crazy big organization. So thank you. Hats off to you. Definitely.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much.
No problem.
It was such a pleasure to have you on today. So did you want to send out a shout out to anybody? Well, no, before you do that, tell us what do you do when you are not working and grinding?
So
just a fun
you want to tell all of it?
Well, because I know part of what you're doing. After your housewarming, I already know, but so just a portion.
I love hanging out with my friends. Whether it's going to a comedy show. I went to my first, maybe my second comedy show that was like up front. Like it was small, but it was, we had so much fun. Going to a museum, I think this past year was my first time going to the African American Museum, and it was awesome. Had a great time. Love hanging out, love partying. Of course, slow down the partying, but just hanging out with like-minded young ladies and young men like myself. It's always great. You always are your circle. I am my circle. I can definitely say that.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you again so much for coming on Women in Business International Radio. It is truly an honor to have you on here. And so my last question for you is if you can shout out whoever you want to shout out, would you shout out right now?
I definitely would shout out my team, my dad, my grandmother, who are my investors, my mom, who's my momager, my cousin, who's my administrative partner, and my aunt, who is my public relations manager. That is my full team, and they just keep me grinding nonstop. They make sure I'm always on top of everything, and also keeping my social life going too, because you have to have a balance. So
That's
definitely shout out to them. They have just been so great. So they're gonna definitely get a big bonus.
All right. Awesome. Well, great job, Cynthia. So,
Thank you.
ladies, if you know of any woman who is a business professional or a business entrepreneur that is looking for a sisterhood, then look no further. Because Women in Business International serves a sisterhood of women entrepreneurs who understand that individually you can do great things, but collectively you can forever change the world. Our members of this movement experience a support system that allows us to celebrate each other's wins and allow their struggles in a series of opportunities to enhance them personally and professionally. So please feel free to visit us on our website at www.wbiradio.org. If you're looking for advertisement for your business, you can reach out to www.wbiradio.org as well. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. It was such a pleasure to have each and every one of you tuned in. We hope that you were inspired by none other than Cindy Johnson. Don't forget to check her out on Instagram, Cindy J Cosmetics.
Cindy
And
J. Labs. Mm-hmm.
Cindy J Labs. And well, thank you, thank you, PC. She said WBI Sisters Rock. Thank you so much. And Destiny said, awesome show, ladies. So thank
Thanks,
you all for
guys.
tuning in. We love you, but God loves you best. Enjoy, and don't forget to keep it locked here next Tuesday at 8:05 on Women in Business International Radio.